Down. Huh? No, I had to burp. Welcome back, everyone, to another little live stream. I'm joined by we have a crew today. We got Benji in the house. We got Mr. Shane in the house,
Yo, yo.
and we got Mr. Timmy in the house as well.
So,
And we're just gonna go over the price action that we had today. We're gonna cover some crypto and maybe look over some stocks, but probably a short little live stream today. Nothing much. There was like one setup today. Our line played out perfectly. If you were watching the live stream yesterday, because whenever we were talking about it, we had our fucking voice off, like a bunch of fucking gypsies, dude.
Amateurs.
Yeah, but everybody that was in Discord heard the voice and heard what was outlined. So sometimes if you miss the Discord stuff, you can come over here. I hope Vic is watching again. Sir,
He's done with you.
yeah, he's like, didn't answer my question for the second fucking time. Fuck this kid. All right, so yesterday we said we swept previous day high. Or no, we haven't swept previous day high, right? But we were just kind of at the top right here, right? At the market open, Wednesday, 18 o'clock, right there. We were over here. On stream, we said, okay, we can come down, take previous day low, and then come back up. Previous day low was right here. Came down, swept that, could not displace above it, and then we came right back into this previous day high. Pretty fucking solid. Nice little outline. We almost got the top of it too. That move right here was almost top right there. Beautiful. That was that. So with that, it just came down to waiting and seeing what we would do. So for me, London session, we came down to previous day low, right, which was right there. So we swept that. Price was kind of below it. Then once we got above it, we kept on holding over here. One thing that I've been backtesting is the London session giving us the range or like a bottom for or Asia session giving us the bottom for the London session, which it did today too. So you delineate the whole range of Asia and then see where London goes. So today it bounced at 3.5. So for me, that was like, okay, so then we look back at our little daily outline, right? Wherever that image is, daily plan. Keep dragging to the top, right? What does this look like? This looks like more like this right here, right? New York expansion. So in the morning, we saw this. We saw this right here. So the next move was going to be New York continuation up. And given that we have taken the previous day low and we're looking to continue up, that's all we needed to know. That's all we need to have right there. We did have some lows that I was just kind of looking to sweep, but it was not necessarily, right? As Mr. Slicky, the wise one, told us that those are protected lows, so they don't necessarily need to be swept. But that's what we were working with. I had a little animal outlined this morning, so it came down into those liquidities or into where I wanted it to come into. This was this morning on stream. Came down into this level and then bounced out of it. That's all I was looking for. That's all we needed. We got to still see how these liquidities were kept on being swept. We were kind of chopping around for the first probably hour of the market being open. What's up, Tia? The zookeeper indeed. So the animal played out nicely, right? We had data, gave us a nice fair value gap. That fair value gap held the whole time that we were chopping around. Kind of had this 15-minute wick right here as well that kept on holding, right? We never saw a body close below the 50% of it, right? So that just kept on telling us, all right, well, we are very likely to go to the top of this range at least, right? Or at least to get that outside day. So then we had our London session manipulation outlined, right? And that gave us pretty much the top of this move right there as well. 2618, rejection back down from there. And that's the day. That's the day. Let me make sure I type this up for anyone that can't hear either. It's an hourly volume balance on the ES rejector and just Perslan FPG took that, and that was it. She was off. Was that for the short Tia? Hourly was definitely the key. Hourly time frame and 4 hour have been smacking recently. Those are kind of, especially if you're treating that 4 hour as your daily candle. That's the best, honestly, because that one you can play those outside 4 hours really easily,
Oh.
taking it as those daily candles, or thinking that they're daily candles.
Mhm.
What did you do today, Benji?
I've been keeping it kind of small just because we're in an area I don't want to really play too heavy in terms of upside.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to say I'm surprised that we're here, but I thought we were going to see a little bit more resistance. Like originally, I'm going to talk ES and not in Q, but on
Yeah.
ES, that 5860-ish, 70-ish level, I thought we'd see a little bit more resistance there. But that's kind of exactly what I played today. This morning, like we we had quite a bit of selling overnight, and once we got back above 5900, it was just kind of pretty easy for calls.
Mm-hmm.
I only took like 20 some look at my history really quick. I think I only took like 21 points or something, which isn't bad by any means.
I was like
don't
21
get me
trades.
wrong.
Holy fuck.
No, 21 points. But there's just like, again, like the risk to reward for longs up here for me isn't really the best. I closed out my long from, I think it was Tuesday, and it was insane. I called pretty much every move that happened on Tuesday. The original sell that I shorted.
Mm-hmm.
Oh no, that was Monday. And then we built like a head and shoulders and popped up. I don't remember what fucking day it was. And then we ripped up, and then we just had a lot of continuation. And I called the sell before market open. I called what it was looking like a head and inverse head and shoulders early. It took a little longer to build than I anticipated, but ultimately played out kind of exactly how I wanted, and I carried long. I carried one contract overnight and had some shorts that I ended up getting stopped out of just to hedge. So my week was kind of done days ago.
Nice.
So I didn't really care to do too much trade. Like I said, the risk to reward, like until I just the confirmation is there, yeah, but I'd rather play small
I feel that.
for now, and just I don't need to go for bigger swings than like the one I just previously took earlier in the week. It's not there for me.
I feel that. Completely get that. Tia's saying that.
Too short.
Yeah.
Hi Tia.
She's like, I think everyone is expecting the short, and that's why the price keeps going up, which is pretty accurate.
Yep.
Shane keeps
Oh,
saying
yeah,
that these.
100%.
No, it's not even that. It's the fact that everyone is literally sat on the sidelines, like, yeah, trying to fucking snipe shorts, and they're just going to keep continuously getting liquidated until we hit all-time high, in my opinion.
That's fucking
And
true.
I'm fine with that, honestly.
Yeah.
Like
But I
I'm
agree with
positioned for
Benji.
longs.
I agree with Benji.
just-
Like, I tweeted it the other day. This is not me saying go long the fucking top. I'm just saying I
Right.
think there's a lot of salty people.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
And that's the thing is like I don't want to chase an absolute ripper of a move, and I don't want to short the top.
Yep.
So I will take my, I'll sneak in my hits where I can, where I'm confident, and yeah, I'll
Exactly.
leave some on the table, but I'd much rather do that than get cooked either way.
Yep.
I feel
Because they
that.
could rug pull at any time.
Mm-hmm.
At the same time, we can go back down, to 58.20
Yep.
Even
before you
even
know it.
discount on NQ right now is 19.6 on ES. It's fucking even a pullback to 5,500 is still bullish. I mean, that's a massive drop.
Yeah, this
So it's just, you know,
daily candle. Ooh.
and we
Ooh.
are, we in the world of trading, we are professional gamblers in a sense, but
Yep.
I would rather take better,
Risk
smaller
reward.
jabs. Yeah,
Mhm.
I don't need
More base hits
when I
than
what
like a fucking swing for the
right.
fences.
And like so I was able to get a good amount of points of points earlier in the week, because like my strategy is I don't like I have the way I scale is I'll leave myself usually with like a third of a position of I'm not gonna I scale, right, as everybody should. So what I like to do is I like to leave myself with a fourth or a third of my position to leave, and then I will let that do what it does, right? That's going to be the one that if it hits my stop, that's fine. If it goes forever, that's fine. But I'm not going to manage the tail end of my position like I will the bulk of my position, So
Yep.
that's why I was able to get more, more points earlier in the week. Now, I have to keep it tight. Right now, like I'll use some of my levels for example. Like I said, 5900. The next level that I had was 5907. Above that, 5920. So like everything right now here
Yeah.
is so tight for me. I don't want to go more than what I'm working with. And
Yep.
obviously everyone has different levels, and somebody would be like, "Oh, you're stupid. You could have had this one and had more points." That's fine, but for the way my brain works and what worked for me being profitable as a trader is just when we're not extended by any means, but when we're just like in these ripper moves, I'd rather just take these smaller pieces of the pie than full on slices.
I get it.
I agree
That's-
100%. And the only thing I'm being cautious of here is like we are on this weekly candle stabbed up into this FVG. I
Mhm.
know they love flipping candles at the end of the week. So
Yeah.
like the only bearish thing I could possibly see, and I'm not saying this happens, but if they could push this weekly candle into like an inverted hammer, that's the
That would
only
be
way I think I
nutty.
can be bearish, because that'd
Yeah.
be really,
Yeah.
really, really ugly.
They could
There's
tomorrow.
absolutely-
Tomorrow's OPEX too,
Oh, then
Right.
that's what I'm saying. I want to see how this
Yeah.
weekly candle closes.
because we do have a
There's
gap on the
been-
weekly below too. That's another thing that's been bothering me. It's this gap up.
Yep.
There's been absolutely no reason to be bearish for quite some time, other
Yep.
than like if you are allowing like okay, take everything out but the chart,
Mhm.
politics, global affairs, whatever. Obviously, yes, you have to think about that stuff, but just trade the chart. And if you are just trading the chart, you really have no reason to be bearish for quite a while. And there were a lot of people that were, just aiming to take puts, and swing puts. But like, there hasn't been what failed within the last handful of weeks, maybe end of April, where you were like, yeah, no, we have to take puts here. But like everything right now is building and then making that next step up.
Yep.
So I don't really get like, when shit starts to okay, like yeah, I'll take my shorts, but I'm not going to I'm not taking these absolutely insane swings when it's not there.
Just because it's too high.
Right. Like I was confident shorting a level that, looking back on dailies and weeklies, like massive. So many wicks, like I would be a fool not to at least attempt it, because one, I know my risk management. And I know if I get stopped, I get stopped, and then I just, wait for the next trade. So
Mhm.
be it. But if you really want to like take a fat short, shorting the tops and just like trying to jump in front of the train is the stupidest thing you can do.
Yeah. Well, it's the whole.
Like,
Go ahead.
sorry, go on.
I was just gonna say, like, it's the whole hope thing, right? It's like, oh, if
Right.
If I catch the top, I'm gonna fucking show these motherfuckers. Say like, oh, you're still bearish. You know, so I think it's more of like a pride thing than anything than like fucking technical
100%.
analysis or whatever. Right? It's more of like I showed you all who the gay bear is, you know, that kind of fucking thing.
Right. But like again, like aside from all of the potentials and hypotheticals in the political global fair world, like looking at the chart, there's really not a lot to look at and be like, yeah, I should be shorting this for, like I said, a handful of weeks. Yeah, the opportunity is gonna come, and you know, once you get it, you get it. But I don't know. It's just like you said, it's a lot of people that just are like trying to swing for something so they could be the one that said,
I'm
look at
at the
this.
top.
Right, look at this hit I got, rather
See,
than, you know.
I've been that guy before, and that's why I'm not that guy anymore. I've been the guy
Oh,
being like
100%.
salty as fuck that I didn't catch the bottom, just thinking it's too high, reading the fucking news. I've been that guy, and that's why I'm not being that guy.
Yeah, you just have to, you know, and I guess you don't have to do anything because you're your own person. But if you want to, you know, be consistently profitable and just, you know, live to trade another day, you have to drop that ego and wanting to be the person. Like everyone has this god complex ego about being the guy rather than being a
Making
guy
money.
that consistently
Yeah.
makes money. Yeah.
Yep.
You know,
Yep.
it's everyone's pride gets in their way when you could just stop trying to be a fucking bear. Speaking of bears, we had the biggest one here, so I knew I called him in. But again, it's just like, you know, don't be an idiot. you don't have to be crazy trying to short this just because you think this level is going to be the, you know, the top of Mount Everest. Then we're going to collapse. We're going to create it at 4,000.
Yep.
If you want to hedge yourself, that's fine though. Like obviously take puts as a hedge, but if you're trying to short, you're gambling. You're taking bad gambles.
Yeah.
Versus
And
taking good gambles.
Like you
I'm
just
short.
said, like I was that fucking guy for so long with the trying to be right, like trying to be so right on socials that I wasn't even making money, and I was like, what the fuck are you doing? Like, do you want followers and likes, or do you want to actually be a profitable trader? I mean,
Yeah.
like
yeah, I can't
take your
I don't
poison.
know, like I said this the other day.
You can be profitable.
Right. Well, that's because you have people funding your account. But like I said the other day, I can't take likes and retweets and pats on the back to the bank.
Yep.
Right.
That's
what
fucking
I
true.
can is the realized P&L in my account and pay myself. But everything else, and I get it, like I respect everybody. You're building businesses and whatnot that are genuinely good traders and teaching and guiding people, but it's those that are like swinging for the fence and being like 50-50 on like what they'll show and what they won't show, and then like, oh, I need this to kind of pump my whatever, and then it's, you know, that's the like you're not taking that to the bank. You're just gonna lose people money down the road versus actually being a good trader and not swinging for outrageous unrealistic you know, trades and whatnot. Like everybody that trades SPX, I was that guy. I'll show you, you know, 20K in a day on like a 20-cent contract that went, you know, however many thousands, but like unrealistic and inconsistent.
Yeah. That's what you have to be. It's kind of just like, right, it's showing up and doing it day in, day out, making those cases for yourself like we always do with like a if then, right? If it closes below this, then I can start looking for shorts, but if it continues to hold above, then
it's not that hard. It's really like, and you know, I commend the Shanes and the Eddies that are ICT and harmonics and just like that can read liquidity, because I know that I can't regardless. Like I try, and maybe I don't try my best, but I know like I just can't see it as well, or I can't execute it as well as I could see it. So like for me to be as good of a trader as I can be, it really has to just be a lot of regular hypothesis. If this happens, then I think this will happen. and then I execute on that, and then I have my take profits and my stop losses. I just have my small parameters, because again, like I know I'm not you brain maniacs that can do all of this.
I just tweeted that today, though. I seriously, it's execution over analysis. You could
Yeah.
be the best
yeah.
analyst in the world, but if you can't execute, it doesn't matter. So at the end of the day, it is the execution. Doesn't matter how
True.
silly the way you do it is, as long as you can consistently execute. I
If
think
it
that
makes
is
sense to you,
far more important.
if it makes sense in your brain that you're able to connect A and B, and not connect it and be like, wow, look what I did. It's connect it, but also execute on it, like you're saying.
Mhm.
And like I still get the feeling when I know I'm sure you guys get it. Just the feeling you get when like something's working really well in your favor,
Yeah.
and like you get excited. That's just but it's again, one, it's because everything we're doing is based off of speculation. Nobody knows exactly what's gonna happen, so you have that like that feeling of like, oh fuck, and it just feels good and you chase it. But it's also knowing and having the discipline, big word there, discipline, to not just chase the feeling and to temper that. You're allowed to feel and be human, but not to act on those, and stay grounded and
Yeah. It's like
maintain composure, and don't get too high, don't get too low.
yeah, it's like learning where it's like, I don't know if you've seen that picture, but it's like this guy with the fucking straight face, right? And it's like a win day, lose day. It's like you have to just like, you have to be so unemotional with either one of those and just take it as it is.
Oh yeah, 100%. 100%.
Like we call the out.
Losses suck, but you can't be upset over that.
Yeah, exactly. Like we've made a lot of call outs, and like outlined the markets, and we post them just for the sake of like, hey, this is what we do on stream, but it's not like we're over there, it's like get fucked, and shit like that. It's just like hey, look, this is just what we do. Like come hang out.
And it's also a really good journal. And the one thing that I really commend about you guys is a lot of groups and services will make it about the group, about the service and about the call outs, whereas you guys, not only just the learning aspect and teaching and being, obviously you're the most active in terms of like your live pre-market, post-market, and during the day, but also like this feels more like a true community than just like a customer and a service.
Yeah,
you know what I mean,
of like a pay me money and I'll read the price for you. Like what the fuck.
Exactly.
Yeah, I don't want to do that.
Yeah.
Shit.
And like I don't like, as somebody who has been a part of that, early on in my trading, I think of the early one for me was like fucking Sea Blast. Before, and then like when I learned how to trade for myself, it gets lonely when you're not like with people who are also new and figuring shit out and asking questions. So like it's nice to still have like that sense of community, because this is the loneliest profession.
Yeah.
But yeah, like I said the other day, I don't want it. It's hard to find the balance of like, you don't want to be lonely, but you don't want too much noise. So we just try to find somewhere in between
it's
that.
a really healthy balance.
Yeah.
And there's a lot, like you and Eddie have similar styles in sense of like you're both like really spot on with ICT, but Eddie and his harmonics are just
Crazy.
wild. And neither, like, he doesn't let his strategy or thoughts and feelings like overcome your strategy, thoughts, and feelings. When I'm here, I mentioned like what I'm seeing, he's marking it, looking at it the same, like through my lens, but also through his lens, because we all know each other here is a good trader.
Yep.
And just because I'm seeing blue and he's seeing red and you're seeing green, Shane, we're all still seeing price action, and usually we're still seeing things in similar ways, because again, we're reading the tape the same, even if, again, through a different lens. But it's not like, oh, mine is better than yours and blah blah blah.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's why me and Timmy got so close too, because like Timmy helped a huge part in my journey just by like I guess unlocking the fact that it doesn't have to be so set in stone. And like you say, I'm really good at ICT, and I do think I am, but I'm nowhere near like Raven or Slicky in my opinion, where it's so like they're so pure with it. I'm like
Yeah.
unpure, and like to some people I feel like it pisses them off, but it works for me. And Timmy's the one that helped me understand that, like you said before, no matter how silly it is, as long as it works for you, it works.
Right.
Yep. Yeah,
Yeah.
they're very like by the book ICT of like, this is the only shit I fucking trade, and like I'll never do anything again, you know, and it works, right? I'm not denying the fact
That's
that it's
fine.
like ICT don't work or anything like that, because I myself, right, I take concepts off of it, similar
Mhm.
that as Shane does, but I'm also implementing some of my own shit into it because I'm like, okay, I've seen this work a lot of times, and it's like ICT might be saying this, but you know, because ICT fucking he hates on animals. He's like, oh, you're fucking trading the octopus pattern, you know? I'm like, fuck yeah, I am, dude.
And then he's like, haha, I'm taking the octopus pattern.
Yeah,
Right.
like,
Right,
haha,
right.
look at this fucking octopus pattern. What is this on Doge? No, I think it was on Sheep. Where was this? Show me the animal.
Just like things you see and you play so much that it becomes undeniable in your own
Yeah.
brain. So like other than that, it doesn't really matter. Like you see it happen, you see it play out, and no one can tell you otherwise. And I think that's like the most important part to get to. And that's why we don't do like the typical alert shit, because you need to get it in your brain that like you have to be that
Right.
confident in your shit.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
have to, because you have to be able to recognize and not wait for somebody to tell you what to do. Like,
Yep.
you know,
Hesitation.
yes, some people, like you guys, could regularly call out winning plays, but I'm somebody. Eddie is primarily looking at NQ. If you know, I could just wait on NQ all day, or I just love ES. That's how I got started. I was a SPX trader once I got confident and switched to futures. But like then I'd have to go back and relook at something and yada yada yada. Versus if I just learn how like a good strategy, then I could look at ES, NQ,
Mhm.
Rusty, Gold, fucking Unity software, NVIDIA, whatever it is, and
Yep.
apply these things to other, you know, tickers. Because at the end of the, or you know, crypto and forex stuff, you know, it's just like it's all applicable if you know it. But if you only know what somebody's telling you, then what do you really know?
Yeah, exactly. You're not learning at that point. You're just like, you're just being spoon fed, right? You're never learning how to eat on your fucking own. You just have a little fucking bib on you and keep eating and spilling shit all over
Yep.
yourself.
And like, yeah, I was in those discords where I did make a fuck ton of money 4 years ago just following alerts, and then it came to the point where the market turned, and I wasn't risking like the same amount per trade. Got completely spiraled, and like at that point, it's like you feel like you're part of the community, you're winning with everyone, and then you start losing, and it feels like you're alienated and like so far away from it. And I was like,
Yeah.
I don't ever want that to happen ever
And then
again.
they have the gains channel and they keep on shouting people out. They're like, oh, look at this member making thousand fucking
And I
1,000%
said
worth
I'll
of their
never
fucking
do that
account.
again.
It's funny because one of somebody that I am friends with in the space is just like that. I think we all, if I were to say his name, but he's like genuinely a nice guy. But that's exactly how he is. It's just
Yeah.
like, oh, and I love it. It's so funny, and like I'm glad people are winning and yada yada yada. But it is like, you know. Right.
Yep.
You have how many people in this one member? What is everybody else doing? What did everybody else learn? Like,
Yeah,
you know what I
everybody
mean?
else is
Like,
over there
about what-
fucking smoking ciggies
Right.
is in like fucking depression, you know?
Yep, and like
Right,
that, that's still like I still
congrats.
won't talk shit about other places like that, because if it works for you, that's fine. It just didn't work for me, and if it didn't work for you either, like you can try our way, and then if that
Exactly.
doesn't work, then just everyone just has to find their own path. It's
Yep.
all your own journey, and we're just here to try to make it a little easier.
Yep.
That's what I like about you and Eddie, Shane, is that you know, you might be long and I'd be like, I'm short, and it's never like a disagreement. Like I had my own Discord, and if I said I was short and the other Furus were long, oh, it was like they just meh, 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 meh.
Yep.
And then you know, like
No
I
idea.
trade.
Or to me.
Y'all know I trade totally different than anybody else.
Oh,
And,
yeah.
And it hit so much. And that's one thing I wanted to add while you were charting, but my kids wouldn't shut
Mhm.
up. If you fib, and I say this a lot, and I can go get lots of screenshots from years ago, from over a year ago, 2 years ago, that if you would have just, if you marked your PPI candle and got in at OTE, so I've had a migraine for 2 days, and I woke up at like 10:15 market time, and I rolled over and I looked, and I was like, oh, holding OTE, and logged on to my freaking broker and took the trade. And it was pretty much that simple, and you can back test that as far back as you want to go,
Yep.
PPI, you said
The-
PPE?
or whatever data candle we had at 8:30.
Oh, yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, we held the 725.
Yeah.
Mm.
And
I'm
like
not
you
even
can.
looking.
Yep. Yeah, I've started marking my my data candles. Because like you can see the bodies respecting how the bodies are respecting the whole thing.
Look at your 3.5. I think it would come out to your 3.5.
3.5.
Yeah. Your extension.
Oh.
I use extensions off of them. I look for 2 deviations up is where
okay.
what I aim for.
I got the 2125, but for me, I like to measure the. So I measured the London range, and we came right into the 2618.
Yeah.
So like it pretty much lines up with the same thing, right? 2125 and 2618. It's right there
Yeah.
with it. It's that data candle.
Yeah, always mark your data candles.
Mm-hmm.
They're easy
Yeah,
to
I
catch
like to
trades off of.
measure. I measure from the base to the tip. All right, that's my time. I gotta
Whoa,
go get
no.
night.
Motherfucker.
All right, I'll see you.
Banned. From the base to the tip. Thanks, Rise. Oh my god. What a guy.
Wow.
What a guy. And it probably hits the 3.5 extension, guys.
Fucking dead.
Oh,
If
I'm looking
not
at it right now, it's fire.
2.5.
This is the 1 hour. Yeah, that's dope.
That's the craziest mic drop ever.
Yep. You said the 1 hour, Benji?
Yeah, what you're looking at right now?
Yeah, I'm looking at the hourly. So I was gonna I keep
Looks
looking
fire.
at this shit. And the thing for me, right? We took this liquidity, the stop liquidity, kind of came up above it, came back below it, formed this fair value gap, and now price keeps on rejecting it, right? So you keep seeing the bodies below this high. So for me, as long as we're below that, I think we can easily come back down, sweep this shit tomorrow. Right? That's our if then. If we keep on rejecting this area right here, this 21,419, and we don't displace this fair value gap, I think we get some shit like that. That's personal opinion, right? I'm not trying to be bearish. It's just whatever I'm reading off the charts. This would be a good. Actually, hold up. Since this weekly has all been fucking pumped, we can get that TGIF, which I think.
I just want to beat the bear right out of you.
Boy.
I'm just kidding.
I want to eat Eddie myself.
Yeah.
Theo Von fucking beat the bear right out of you, dude.
Which, I mean, okay, if we are looking at it from the TGIF perspective, technically a retrace into below that daily would be ideal
Mm-hmm.
for that weekly to close.
Thank God it's Friday. Is that what you
Yeah.
were saying?
Yep. Yeah, it's like one of the ICT setups. It's called TGIF, so it's like where you have the full expansion week. Typically on Friday, you'll see a pullback into the 20 or 30% of it.
Can I get some clarification on that and why it works?
No fucking
So-
clue. Just
Here's why it works. Here's why it works. The DMD is the dealers. It shows their, if they're long or short.
Mhm.
And when we sell off for 4 straight days, they're all short. So they have to cover. And that's why you get your 2:30, 3 o'clock mega pumps. Like we sell off in the day and then kind of curl back up and we just mega pump. And that's because they close all their puts. They're heavy green. like
Mhm.
no green or heavy red in puts, and they have no calls. So when we pump 4 days, we get that huge sell off at the end of the day. It's because they have zero puts and nothing but calls, and they sell their calls at the end of the day.
That makes sense.
So you can look at the DMD and be like, oh, they're freaking 900% green, you know? Like,
Yeah.
if we sell off in the morning at, 2 o'clock, I'm buying calls.
That makes sense. I mean, yeah, like the 20% lines up with this liquidity, 30% lines up with the previous day low. So, I mean, that's the outline. That's just merely a messenger. Just telling y'all what I'm seeing, right? I mean, we still have this
It's
for
good to know that
Captain
there's a
Gibbs
range.
holding,
Sorry
yeah.
to interrupt. It's good to know that there's a range to it, though.
Yeah. Yeah, it's like 20 to 30% or 0.2, whatever it fucking is, like a retracement of that leg. I'm pretty positive if we measure from the
Base to the tip.
yeah, fucking
Basic tip. 3.5.
oh. Yeah, cuz I don't think it's this one. Cuz that would be nuts. We saw
Yeah.
that. So yeah, I'm pretty sure so like that retrace is not like a guarantee, but just something to look out for, right, for everybody tomorrow. The way this daily closed, right, nothing says that we can't keep on pumping because we did the same shit right here, right? So we can easily come on up and displace that shit, make it a Timmy candle, come back down, and then bounce on it. But just showing y'all what we know, what we learned. I'm not trading tomorrow, though. I'm not taking shit.
So, last Friday we didn't get like a huge move towards the end of the day.
Mm-hmm.
The DMD was like, they weren't really short or long.
Kind of.
There was really no calls or puts from the dealers, so like we didn't get a move.
Yeah.
They're
That
scared.
makes sense. Where would that lead us to over here?
Buy high, sell low.
Even the market makers are scared.
Yeah, previous day low would be cool.
Yeah, they don't know what Trump or Vance is gonna say.
Yeah, that's true. Have you said thank you yet? have you even said thank you one time? I don't think we have. Do we have Trump speaking tomorrow? I wouldn't be
I hope
surprised if
not.
we do. Donald Trump speaking tomorrow? Question mark. Gee, public schedule. At least see a public schedule that he fucking follows. Pool call time. President departs the Ritz-Carlton Abu Dhabi en route to. Nope, arrives.
Al Baghdadi.
It's so fucking funny. Al Baghdadi. And we found him. He was crying, and I said, "Don't cry, don't cry."
And he's so good at it.
I said, "Don't cry. You're a tough guy." So too fucking good. On cryptos, we kind of we'll cover some cryptos and then we'll probably fuck off. So no Shane, you gotta go too. So that's what we see on NQ for tomorrow. Obviously, for those that trade ES, follow ES Benji. There's your fucking name. That's where it comes from. ES Benji on Twitter. He provides.
I thought about that.
You tweet pretty regularly, right?
I try to.
Yeah, but he provides good analysis. He'll reply here and there to get him to 300 followers,
Anybody.
and he
There's
will.
no way. It's been like 3 months and we still haven't gotten this man to 300.
Fucking no, dude. It's ridiculous.
I'm
You
not
get
streaming
porn
again
bots
until he has
following me.
300.
Yeah, no streams. We're gonna fucking protest streams until Benji has 300 followers.
I am done.
Did you? Benji's like, oh, I never thought about my name being ES Benji.
I was thinking Espenji.
I always looked at it as ES Benji. Thank you talking about only trading ES and in Q. I'm like, makes sense.
Who the hell would have thought?
Yes, Benji. I'm gonna put my name as NQ Eddie.
Honestly, it's not a bad
Niquetti.
idea.
All right. So animals, right? We have a nice little animal. This one to the downside, right? That we outlined a little while back. Kind of a nice bounce. But right now, if we zoom in on a little lower time frame, I was just looking through it, and we kind of have this little guy. We have these little guys, right? These are bearish animals, so maybe a retrace into that and then continue down from there would be perfectly fine, right? If this is just happening on the shorter time frame, on the longer time frame, we're getting way bigger of a retrace. I'd be fine with that because we can technically come in, hit this order block, right, and then sell deeper into here. Wouldn't be opposed to that. But I'll probably be bitching to Shane that crypto's selling again. It's being gay. Help. It's pretty standard across all of the cryptos. I was just looking at this shit while Benji was talking. But got these little animals outlined. All are pretty valid, and I am in some longs short-lived.
Yep. That Bitcoin
nothing
hourly that
worthwhile.
I sent you today is playing out. We just have to get above 104.5, and
Let
then
me see.
I don't know. I think she
Bitcoin.
can go crazy.
Bitcoin. Oh, she's nice. Dang.
Yeah, that hourly setup I sent you today. Doge looks good. XLM looks good. I'm not
Shit.
touching anything
She
else.
hit that fucking OTE to the, or this OP. Like a fucking, give it a little smooch.
Yep.
Started pumping back up.
XLM, Doge. That's all I care about.
XLM Doge. XLM Doge. She was also not bad. XLM. That's a good one. Yeah. Yeah. Also animal on XLM.
And I left room to add, like, my stop is super wide below that daily low, but I want in on this one because, I mean,
On XLM.
that daily chart. Yep.
That's a good one. Yeah, she's looking good. Does this one tend to pop nicely?
XLM?
Yeah.
No, not at all.
No, not at all.
But the daily chart, this shit has been wedging out for like 2 years.
Yeah,
I just want a piece of the pie.
that's fair.
Just a piece. We're not greedy.
Mm-hmm.
No.
There's enough for everybody to go around.
Just a small piece.
Come get you some. I had some longs trigger on IOTA earlier.
Dude, you
Oh,
need to find this.
Holy shit. Smack that right there. Look at that. OV smack.
Can't, my mouse is dead.
Get a trackpad.
Use my arrow keys.
Yeah, you can do, I think you can do control minus control plus to zoom in. No.
I can't get back to Discord.
Alt tab.
Oh.
You never scrolled through your tabs like
there we
that?
go. Yeah, I have.
Oh, okay.
Only out of games, and I haven't gamed in a long time. So. Oh, almost there. There we go.
IOTA. Nice little smack on that OB right there. Look at that bumpy. I honestly like this
That's
one.
nice.
Yeah. Oh, we had it outlined multiple times. Little retrace right there. All right. That's IOTA, Jasmine. Also came into liquidity. Sui Maker. Continuation up. Vet. I mean, a lot of this stuff is, we could do the same shit we did that other day. You remember it, like, or we did it on the hourly time frame where we didn't sweep anything. We literally like wicked down, and then the next candle opened up inside the body and just fucking pumped from there. Maybe that's what they do on the daily over here. Dot looks good. But tomorrow is also, well, not end of the week for crypto, but end of the good liquidity, honestly, or volatility. Volume. Anchor hit the 618 right there. Anchor doesn't look bad. Fill link. Linky link. MTL bonk. Looks decent. Fat, like we just said. Doge. Jupe. ACH. ACH back to yearly open. Looking like an M, but. Alright, I think that's going to do it for tonight. All of the cryptos are looking pretty similar. Like we said, Shane said XLM, Doge. I got Jupe and FET. Those are good ones, and some Shibis too. I think Sheep could make a run for it. Taking on a run, baby. That's the way you want it, baby. All right. Other than that, thank you guys for watching. Thanks for tuning in. We appreciate you. Thank you, Timmy. Thank you, ES Benji, for coming to hang out with us tonight. We'll do another live stream probably tomorrow if Shane and I don't end up hanging out or doing some shit. But on that, make sure you guys are checking out www.papertraders.io. That's your go-to website for anything paper traders related. You're going to be able to scroll down to the bottom of the page and find the playlist of the previous live streams that we have done. You're also going to be able to check out all the tools that we have available on there. So we have the trader log, we have the ICT trainer, which is a tool that helps you keep track of the progress that you are making in your ICT journey, or through watching like all the videos that are provided on there. We also have the candle creator and the risk calculator. Especially in these environments, it's very nice to have that tool to calculate the number of contracts that you want to take depending on the range that we're trading in. As always, make sure you follow Big Timmy Hedge on Twitter. Phenomenal guy, phenomenal trader. Gives you a nice view of the market. Just makes you look at the market with a different eye, different perspective, unlike anything I've ever seen. Make sure you follow ES Benji for those beautiful eyebrows and the beautiful callouts that he makes. Let's get him to 300 followers, and then we'll start dropping some sauce on these live streams for y'all as well. And make sure you follow at Hayes Beats as well on Twitter. Great guy, great crypto man. And speaking of that, make sure you guys check out his Blowfin deal. So you use his link to sign up, and I think you get a little sign-on bonus, right? Or
Yep.
Yeah, once you put in some money, you'll get a little bonus from that. So check that out if you are looking to start trading crypto. You know, it's available in the US, available in any country, I think, almost. And then you can also have it on your phone. I believe you can also trade it off your computer, so whatever you prefer. Pretty easy, right? Shane and I just always trading off our phones. It's nice and accessible. Very simple to use as well.
Yeah, it may even sound like I'm not even trying to. They approached me, and I've only used them for the last like 2-3 years to trade because every other leverage firm kept getting banned in the U.S. Like, used Blowfin for the last 2 years and not one problem ever. And then, yeah, they hit me up and offered me that. And I was like, well, that's pretty much the coolest shit ever because that's all I use.
Yeah.
So, yeah,
Well, you earn
definitely check it out. Thanks, dude.
Yeah, he's definitely the guy that earned it. You can see his track record checking out his Twitter. Everything, every time he makes a call and draws a squiggly line, it fucking goes. So I suggest you guys do so. All 80 of y'all, go check it out.
Nate.
That's
My
true.
dude.
Yeah. And thank you guys for watching. As always, if you give it a like, give it a share, I'll give you a good night kiss. We appreciate y'all. Appreciate all the support. And with that, I'll be back tomorrow morning for a nice little stream. I'm not trading tomorrow, but I'm still going to do a little live stream to give you guys the pre-market analysis of what we see and how everything that we outlined tonight played out. Let's hope China isn't gay again and actually gives us a nice pump, but can never wish for that.
I think we sold off on Singapore's inflation. What's the dump?
Fuck Singapore.
Yeah.
And China.
Yeah, China. China, please don't be gay. Thank you. On that note, we'll see you guys